Hello friends, in this video I'm going to show you around 35 photos I took in Indonesia on the Olympus Stylus Epic, shooting with Kodak ColorPlus. Of course, this year I am shooting a roll of Kodak ColorPlus through the Stylus Epic every month as part of the Frugal Film Project. So we went on a 2-week holiday to Indonesia. I shot my June roll around the town of Ubud in Bali, and then we flew to the island of Flores to see the Komodo dragon around Komodo National Park, and I shot my July roll in Labuan Bajo, the biggest sort of fishing town on the island of Flores, close to Komodo National Park. So we're going to get stuck straight in. Let's start looking at the June pictures shot around the hill town of Ubud in Bali. So we got to Ubud quite late, and then the next morning we'd had breakfast and we got out there and we decided to have a look around. Now, we've been to Ubud twice before. It's a town that we really love, and we went to the markets to have a look around and see what sort of souvenirs we could buy. We didn't end up buying anything, I don't think, but this is just a nice little shot here of the indoor market. I really love the light here. You've got the light coming through that roof there. Really like that shot, and you can see a couple of the shops there. It looks very nice. The next couple of shots were taken at the first place we stayed at, a place called Murni's in Ubud. Really very nice traditional Balinese place just off the main drag in Ubud. Really love this place. And this is just like a little staircase here. It's red and it's got all these beautiful leaves around it. Really love that. This is another shot of the staircase here. And then this is actually where we stayed. We stayed in like a 2-bedroom apartment at Murni's, and you know, outside our accommodation there's all these like Buddha statues, and there's a fountain on the left. Very, very peaceful, lovely place. Really love getting back to Ubud, and I love staying at Murni's. You really feel like you're, you know, straight away you're in Bali. It's a beautiful, relaxing place. The next day we had a little bit of a day out and we went to this waterfall because my daughter loves waterfalls. So we went to this waterfall called Canto Lampo. It's about half an hour, 35 minutes from where we were staying. It was actually not very far in distance, but the traffic around Ubud is a nightmare. The roads are really small and there are so many cars, so many scooters. But eventually we got to Canto Lampo. You go down all these steps and then there's a bit of a queue up and people are, you know, doing their Instagrams and stuff like that. But I took this picture while I was waiting to take photos of my daughter. I took this picture of the waterfall. Really liked that. The next stop was Goa Gadja, which is an ancient temple. It's called the Elephant Temple, and it's got some caves there and some fountains and all sorts of stuff. Really cool place to check out. The first one here was at the Buddhist temple part of Goa Gadja, and there's just this little offering here. The Buddhist temple, really like this. And yeah, it looks like the Stylus Epic is shooting, I don't know, f4 or something like that. It's really sort of, you know, shooting wide open, making sure that I can actually take a shot with that 200 speed film. The next one is the main sort of part of Goa Gadja itself with these beautiful kind of fountains. Really love this. And then after that we headed back into town, and there's a lady selling all this colorful fruit in town, and I just had to take some photos. The whole family were getting a bit embarrassed about how many photos I was taking. So in the end we ended up buying a big bag of fruit off this lady. I think we paid like 10 Australian dollars for it, $7 US. We probably like paid 2 or 3 times as much as we should have. However, it was a massive bag of fruit, which we struggled to get through, but I really love the colors here. This next shot was at the second place we were staying at, a place called Iba. And again, yeah, it was just so many sort of fountains and gardens and beautiful lush kind of vegetation everywhere. And I really like this. I focused on that huge leaf on the left, and as you can see, that is in focus. The rest of the sort of image there is kind of out of focus. So again, you've got the Stylus Epic shooting at maybe f4, f2.8, who knows? But I really like that image. And then the rest of the images were taken on a walk on our final morning in Ubud. We did a few other things, like we went rafting and stuff like that. So of course I'm not going to take my Stylus Epic rafting, even though it is, you know, splash proof. I didn't really trust it rafting. So the final morning I had about a dozen frames to get rid of. And so this is what I did. I went for a lovely long walk. Here is the first one here. This is just like a typical sort of road scene you'd see in Bali. You know, someone selling some stuff at the side of the road with leaves and crates and all sorts of weird stuff. Really like that one. The next one was a delivery truck. I was walking down the hill and these guys were delivering some drinks by the look of it. Really like this orange truck. It looks really super cool. The next couple were taken down by the river near where we were staying. It's a really cool restaurant here, very expensive restaurant actually, one of the finest dining places in the whole of Indonesia. We didn't go there this trip because my son and I, in the first part of the trip, we weren't feeling very well, so we didn't want to spring for a really expensive, you know, restaurant meal if we weren't up to it 100%. But this sort of bridge here is right near our accommodation and right near this restaurant, and as you can see here, there's like this Hindu, you know, sort of statue here which looks really cool, and you've got the bridge in the background. foreground. The next image is of the bridge itself, the old bridge. So I'm standing on the road bridge, which is currently in use, and this pedestrian bridge here, by the look of it, yeah, it's sort of completely closed off now. So when we come here in 2016, it was still in use. I got some lovely photos of my daughter here with some sort of like lamps lighting up at dusk along this bridge. Unfortunately now it is closed. I'm guessing it's because, yeah, it must not be in very good repair anymore. And you can't really see here, but you know, there's a drop about 20 meters, about 60 feet right into a river. So yeah, you wouldn't want to cross that bridge if it wasn't in the best repair, let me tell you. And the last image from my June roll with the Stylus Epic is just this roadside stall of fruit. Really like this. Again, a bit murky conditions, overcast. I was not using the flash, and the Stylus Epic just, you know, shooting this at f4, something like that. And so you've got the coconuts here, well, I think they're coconuts, in the foreground here. They're like, you know, nice and in focus, and the rest is just a nice little blur. So yeah, really enjoying seeing the Stylus Epic, you know, shooting sort of almost wide open here in some of these conditions. Love it. So then at the start of July, we went back to Bali airport and we flew 1 hour and 20 minutes to the east to the island of Flores. It's actually quite a big island, Flores. We went on the west coast to a town called Labuan Bajo, which is kind of like the gateway to the Komodo National Park and all the islands, beautiful islands around that sort of area. So yeah, really enjoyed going here. We stayed at a nice resort on the beach. Funnily enough, you can't really swim at the beach because the water quality isn't very good at this particular beach, but this is the first scene that greeted us when we got there. Beautiful sunset, you know, looking to the west. Some people are actually out in the water even though you're not supposed to swim there. But yeah, really like this sunset photo. This is another photo here on the beach I took, just 3 sort of fishing boats from the locals. Really like this. The colors look really nice here of those boats. The next image was from the next day. My wife and I went into town with a bag of washing. I love doing laundry on holidays, I don't know why. And we found a little laundry that did our washing for us, which was really good, really nice sort of local people. In fact, I can still smell the washing powder they used on this shirt, which is very, very fragrant. So yeah, outside the laundry, just down the road a little bit, there was this cart, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like a lavender colored cart. Not sure what they use this for, but super cool like this. And then the next set of images are from the following day when we went on a day trip to Komodo Island. So you get in a speedboat and typically you'll do 4 stops. So this is the first stop. This is Pandar Island, and this has an incredible view of this beautiful shaped island you'll see in a second here. But it's actually quite a lot of steps up, and it was a hot day. It was 30 degrees, very hot. So to get up to see the view at Pandar Island, you've got to go up about half an hour of these steps. There's quite a few of them. I think someone said there's, you know, several hundred steps to the top. And in the heat with the humidity, yeah, it was quite taxing to get up there. But this is one of the first stops I made. It was like a little outlook, and you look down at the jetty. Now we actually, when we arrived on the island, we didn't use the jetty. The jetty was full, so we actually had to go down to the left of that picture. We had to jump out and get our feet wet and then run onto the beach. But there you go, that is the actual jetty you're supposed to use, all the boats are supposed to use. And then the next image is from a bit further up, almost at the top here. And you can just see why this island is so popular. You know, this beautiful, beautiful island with these, you know, kind of, you know, volcanic almost looking peaks to the island. Really unusual shape to the island. Super cool. So really, really loved taking photos here. I took loads on all sorts of different cameras. So if you follow this channel, you're bound to see more of Pandar Island in upcoming videos. And the next one here is also on the same island, Pandar Island, but we actually got back in the boat and we went around to the other side of the island to a place called Pink Beach. Now, my daughter kept saying this is not a pink beach, but it kind of is a pink beach. There's all these tiny little pink minerals in the sand. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but it does look really pretty. And they've got the pink sort of sand there and the blue water. Really sort of beautiful scene here. Love this. And I walked down the beach a little bit more and there was just these 3 little fishing boats. Really love this. The water is so pale blue, and when you get underneath it, you know, it's all crystal clear. Absolutely gorgeous. Really like this. The next shot is at Komodo Island. So we did get to Komodo Island. That was the 3rd stop on the trip. And we did get to see the Komodo dragon, which was super cool. I really wanted a picture of the Komodo dragon running up the beach at us, but you know, for health and safety reasons, we just saw some in the bush kind of thing. And yeah, we're only a few meters away, but thankfully none of them went for us. And this is one of the jetties here at Komodo Island. Very cool. And then as we were getting back on the boat, there's a longer jetty. I really like this boat here. It's like a patrol boat. Love the colors of this. And of course the colors and the background of the sea and the sky. Really, really like that. Now, unfortunately, after that day trip to Komodo Island, my daughter got really sick. She was sick for like 3 days, which really put a dampener on things. She just sort of lay in the hotel, in the bed in the hotel the whole time. You know, we thought she was getting better, so we didn't get a doctor, and then she wasn't. And so, yeah, it kind of went on for about 3 days. When we actually eventually got back to Bali, we got a doctor as soon as we got back, and they fixed her up straight away, which was really good. But yeah, sometimes you don't know if these things got to pass or how bad it is. So yeah, unfortunately, it was a couple of days there at Labuan Bajo where we really didn't do much except hang around the hotel. I did actually walk into town twice though, and this last set of pictures from the Stylus Epic are when I made the 2 mile, 3.5 kilometer walk into town. So the first one here is just some sort of, you know, roadside sort of shack. I really like the colors here, the pink and blue. The next one is in Labuan Bajo itself, and you've just got this little like river here at the bottom here you can't quite see, and there's a mosque behind these sort of shacks. And you know, you had the sound of the mosque, you know, calling the faithful to prayer, and some locals there with their washing line. I really like that image. The next image is of one of the many stores and shops that I took photos of. I really love this. You know, the colors of these upside down to Coca-Cola crates with all the fresh green vegetables on top. I really like this photo. I took this on a few different cameras. I love this. The next is one of the many stores. As I said, you know, you've got these stacks of all this stuff outside the store, and this lady here, you know, moving all the boxes. Not sure what's in them all, but I really like this one. Super cool. This next one was on my second walk into Labuan Bajo. It was in the late afternoon, so the sunlight is a little bit stronger here. And we've just got this like street vendor set up a little cart here. You know, you can imagine in somewhere like America, it might be a hot dog stand. Well, not here. It's a noodle stand here, and it's all these condiments and vegetables and stuff like that. I'm not sure where the person was who was, you know, in charge of the stand, but I took loads of photos. I thought this was super cool. And just behind this, there was a little field with these young fellas playing football, and my wife was with me, and she said, "Hey, take a photo with the guys playing football." So I went over and I took a photo, and the locals are very curious about, you know, white people, or, you know, foreigners, and so they were very friendly, and they wanted me to take their photo, so I did. And then they said, "Oh, can you WhatsApp us the photo?" So I said, "Yeah, no problem." And so I gave the guys my phone to put my number in for WhatsApp. And you can see them all here. You know, the main guy here, he's putting in the phone number in WhatsApp, and everyone is just laughing and smiling. They think it's hilarious that this white guy came out of nowhere and started taking photos. And here they are here. They actually called me back. I was taking a few more photos of some stands, like, you know, fruit and vegetable stands and stuff like that. And they actually called me back. They said, "Can you take another photo?" So I took another one of them all sitting down here, which was really cool as well. And the last image is right in town. There's a huge mosque, and right next to it there's this building with these beautiful sort of colored walls. I think it looks quite a modern building, but I really like the colors here, and of course the palm tree there right in the middle. So there you go. What did you think of the images I shot on my Olympus Stylus Epic on Kodak ColorPlus in Indonesia? The June roll was shot in the island of Bali, and the July roll was shot on the island of Flores. I hope you enjoyed those pictures. There's actually quite a few more other ones on the rolls that I really liked, but I tried to condense them down. Otherwise, this video would go for like an hour or something like that. Now, just here at the end, I'm just going to show you a few other images from my May roll. I never actually did a video with my May pictures because it was really close to us going on holidays. I didn't have enough time. So I'm just going to show you a few photos right now. These were taken in and around Brisbane, in inner Brisbane. So yeah, there's a few images here, very typical Brisbane scenes. So I hope you enjoy them as well. So that is now 7 rolls down for the Frugal Film project, only 5 to go. So I'm really looking forward to finishing off this project. The Stylus Epic is growing on me. It's a camera which I kind of cursed myself for using in January and February. I felt like I wasn't getting on with it. But as the months have gone on, yeah, I'm really growing to like this camera quite a lot. It's not a point and shoot that I would typically grab, you know, above other ones like my TC1 or my Contax T3. Obviously, they're a little bit more high tier than the Stylus Epic. Nevertheless, though, I do enjoy using it. It's very light and compact, and yeah, it's a lot of fun to use. So let me know what you thought. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.